If you have not tried Crunchyroll Premium, now is the time. You can watch old favorites like Dragon Ball Super, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, tons of anime from the past, present, and future, including right now, Jujutsu Kaisen and Dragon Quest Dai are all available on Crunchyroll. And with your premium account, you get to watch them an hour or so after they air in Japan. Give it a shot right now for free at crunchyroll.com/geekdom. I will leave a link down below for you to check out. Dragon Ball characters getting powerful and getting stronger as the series progresses is something that we just have to accept. And it's also part of Dragon Ball and always has been from the very beginning. A big reason as to why this franchise is so popular worldwide is because it tells the story of characters overcoming obstacles and breaking their limitations, something that we can all relate to as people. And although we aren't intergalactic warriors, at least I would assume that most of us aren't, we still go through challenges in life that we have to overcome. And we can relate to Goku getting stronger like we want to become stronger. We can kind of, see ourselves in him, live vicariously through Goku and the other characters. But I feel like with Dragon Ball Super, especially the Moro arc, the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, they may have gone a bit too far in a few places and maybe went a bit too fast.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
Yeah.
So before the Moro arc, if you go back to around 2017, Dragon Ball Super was hyping up the big 1-hour special that would reveal Goku's new limit-breaking form, which we later on found out was called Migate no Gokui, the mastery of self-movement, aka Ultra Instinct. And throughout the entirety of the arc, we saw Goku tapping into what would later be known as Ultra Instinct Omen, until he finally was able to achieve the silver-haired completed version. But we soon found out from Goku himself that he did not even know how he was able to get into that power. And when we left Dragon Ball Super and went to Dragon Ball Super Broly and the Moro arc, Goku at that time did not know how to willfully tap into the silver-haired form or even Omen. And as a lifelong fan of Dragon Ball, this really excited me. Ultra Instinct was hyped up as being the most powerful form that Goku could ever achieve, taking inspiration from a lot of the teachings of Bruce Lee. And as a fan of Bruce Lee, and as a fan of Toriyama's love for Bruce Lee, that was also exciting. But what really got me going is the fact that as we move into these newer story arcs, I always liked the idea of Ultra Instinct being this sort of ghost that Goku is chasing, sort of like a goal. I like the idea of Goku having a new power goal to reach in Super, because here we have a character that's pretty much been through everything. He's died twice, he's got a family, he's a grandfather. There's not really too much left story-wise for Goku to do. In fact, when you really think about it, the story of the life of Goku really ended with the original Dragon Ball manga and Dragon Ball Z. GT and Super are pretty much just add-ons. They're just newer stuff. And I'm not comparing the two. I'm happy it's back, and I'm glad that Goku is back in the action. But at the same time, I was wondering what goal Goku could possibly want. And then when we saw the introduction of Super Saiyan God and Beerus, obviously the goal was to eventually be able to defeat Beerus or at least surpass him in power, which we still have not actually seen that rematch yet, although the surpassing in power comment or discussion has been quite controversial. Nevertheless, Dragon Ball Super showed that Goku was going to be chasing this power and was able to get not only Super Saiyan God mastered, but Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and then later on, Goku kept getting more powerful until finally discovering this Ultra Instinct power. So I was thinking, and I was under the assumption that Goku chasing Ultra Instinct would be something that would take up multiple arcs, that Goku would not be able to truly master this power right away. It would take more time. It would take possibly 3, 4, 5 arcs before Goku was really able to control the silver-haired Ultra Instinct. But in the Moro arc, by the end of it, Goku proves multiple times that yes, he can now tap into UI at will with the silver hair. And because of that, is there even a need for Goku to even use God, Blue, or even UI Omen? I don't see the point if Goku can use UI at will, but Goku loves to test out his opponents, so I'm sure we'll see those forms before he unleashes UI. But the point of this video is to talk about the Dragon Ball Super power creep and my concerns with it. And my concerns with it are this. I really do feel like Goku mastered Ultra Instinct way too soon. I really like the idea of him chasing that form down and not quite being able to get it, slowly learning more and more to hold on to the form for longer periods of time, but still not being able to really trigger it at will until much later in the series. But by the end of the very next arc after, Jiren and Broly, he's already got it down. And the issue I have with this is that going forward, the enemies Goku will have to face are going to be on such a level that it wouldn't make any sense for anybody else, whether it be Gohan, Piccolo, or even in some cases Vegeta, to even be able to compete in combat with these characters, because the power of MUI is so far and away above everything else in the franchise that it would seem like a moot point. So they're going to have to either figure out a way to take Goku out of the action, like what they did in Dragon Ball Z multiple times, or they're going to have to give Goku another transformation that's going to be higher than Ultra Instinct, which I do not want, because I think that I'm suffering from major transformation fatigue in Dragon Ball Super. They put too many forms in that way too fast, in my opinion, and I really don't want any more forms for Goku because of how incredible UI is. It should be his final form. But with Chapter 68 of the manga, we found out that there are now different tiers to Ultra Instinct. Every character that utilizes Ultra Instinct does it at a different level. Specifically, the angels who have Ultra Instinct turned on at all times. And we're talking about the mastered version, not the Omen version. And the idea here is that although Goku has, quote, mastered Ultra Instinct, he really has not mastered it. And this really comes off like a major ass pull. Granted, the idea of the angels having UI all the time, that one's not the ass pull part, because I suspected that for quite some time. But the idea that now Goku, even though he mastered UI, hasn't truly mastered UI, now there's higher tiers for him to achieve, to me, I'm not a huge fan of that. But I'll be honest with you, I think that's a better idea than giving him another different looking transformation. Then again, perhaps a mortal getting that will be a different looking transformation as opposed to an angel. I can't predict the future, but it just seems like this really came out of nowhere with no real true buildup and no sort of foreshadowing. But it also shows the ever-increasing power creep in Dragon Ball Super and the ever-increasing distance between Goku and everybody else. I think what they were doing with Vegeta, as far as him sort of having his own techniques and learning how to do things his own way, is a step in the right direction. I'd rather Goku learn different techniques as opposed to learning new transformations, because the drama is, I think, sort of not as unique or as creative if they keep doing this higher and higher escalation. I want Goku to go back to being a smarter fighter and not just one who gets new forms whenever the plot wants him to get one. Now, I am not saying that I am opposed to this idea of Goku training with Whis to learn higher levels of UI, but I'm saying that I feel like it just came out of nowhere, and it just shows that at this point, Goku has gotten so powerful that the villains he faces off against now, it's just to the point of it being ridiculous. If Goku and Beerus's punches were cracking the multiverse, even back in the Battle of Gods era, what could Goku do now? And we always see Dragon Ball fans wanting them to make Piccolo and Gohan relevant again and the other Z fighters, but how could they even be relevant when the distance between power of Goku and everybody else is so wide? Are we going to see Gohan and Krillin fighting the henchmen for the rest of the series? And to me, it felt like it was too much too soon. And if Goku's next goal is to surpass the angels, when he gets to that level, then what? Then where do we go from here? It just feels just a bit like it's too much, and you don't want to have a superhero or a good guy or a protagonist be too powerful. It takes away from dramatic tension. Honestly, there was way more drama in the original Dragon Ball and in Dragon Ball Z than in Super, because of the fact that A, we didn't know what was going to happen because we're not stuck in the 10-year time skip, and B, because things felt like they had more of an impact. The more you ground a story, the more relatable it is to its audience, because we here on Earth don't have Ultra Instinct power, so we can relate to having our ribs broken or having a limb, injured and being bloodied up. Some of us have experienced that in our lives. But at this point, I do believe that Goku is a bit too OP, and I hope that going forward, that Toyotaro figures out a way to either maybe lower down his power a bit, maybe with God intervention or something like that. I've seen some fans theorize this and hope that it happens, or perhaps figure out a way to take him out of the action, or to figure out some kind of flaw in UI that Goku has to patch up. Because to me, the ultimate goal should be Goku's self-improvement, which I do think is a decent way to keep Dragon Ball going. But to me, it's a bit too much too soon, and I really did hope that they took their time with it more. What do you think? Am I going crazy, or do you agree that Goku mastered UI too soon and that the Dragon Ball Super power creep is a bit too fast and too wide now between Goku and his friends? Let me know. I'm curious to read your thoughts. Thank you. Leave a like, subscribe. I love you. Talk to you soon.